What if you could physically change your own brain? Just by using your mind? I know, sounds a little like science fiction, right? But it's absolutely not. Today, we're going to dive into the practical neuroscience of inner peace and explore how really understanding this 3-pound organ in your head can fundamentally change your entire experience of life.
So, let me ask you this. Picture it. You have a fantastic day. Maybe you get a promotion, a friend says something really nice, the weather is perfect, but then one tiny thing goes wrong. Someone cuts you off in traffic. That night, when you're lying in bed, what's looping in your head? It's probably not the promotion, is it? Why? Why does our brain cling to the negative like that?
Well, it turns out, this isn't some personal flaw or something you're doing wrong. It's actually a built-in feature of the human brain. It's something called a negativity bias, and it's basically an echo from our evolutionary past that has a huge impact on our lives today.
The logic behind this is all about survival, really. I mean, think about our ancestors out on the savannah. If they missed out on some tasty berries, a carrot, it wasn't a big deal. They could just find more tomorrow. But if they failed to notice a predator lurking in the bushes, a stick, well, that was a one-time mistake. So to survive, our brains became incredibly good at spotting and especially remembering all the bad stuff.
This quote just captures it perfectly. Negative things, like a criticism or a worry, they just stick to us instantly like Velcro. But the positive things, a moment of joy, a feeling of accomplishment, they tend to slide right off, like Teflon, unless we make a real, conscious effort to hold on to them.
And this bias has some serious real-world consequences. It means we learn way faster from our mistakes than our successes. It's why one negative comment can completely erase 10 compliments. We end up walking around constantly scanning for threats, overestimating what could go wrong, and at the same time, totally underestimating our own strengths. But what if we could actually change that?
Okay, so this is where the really good news comes in. For the longest time, science thought the adult brain was pretty much fixed, that we were just stuck with the wiring we had. We now know that's completely wrong. Your brain is constantly changing, all the time. And even better, we can be the ones to direct that change. This incredible power is called neuroplasticity.
And this right here is the game changer. Self-directed neuroplasticity. It means you are not just a passenger in your own head, you are the driver. By choosing what you focus on, you can literally build a brain that is wired for more happiness, more calm, and more resilience.
This simple little phrase governs everything. Every single time you have a thought, a feeling, an experience, a whole bunch of your neurons are firing off signals. And the more often they fire together, the stronger their connection gets. They literally wire together, building these dedicated circuits. It's just like creating a path in a forest. The more you walk it, the wider and easier it becomes to follow the next time.
Let that sink in for a second. Your fleeting, immaterial thoughts are leaving lasting physical traces in the structure of your brain. So every moment you spend worrying strengthens the brain's anxiety circuits. But, and this is the key, every moment you spend feeling grateful or calm or joyful can strengthen the circuits for those states too. So the question is, how do we do it? Well, the #1 tool for directing this whole process is mindfulness. Now, this isn't about emptying your mind or anything like that. It's much simpler. It's about choosing where you place your attention. Think of your attention as your brain's spotlight, and also its vacuum cleaner.
This really is a two-step process. First, your attention is a spotlight. Whatever you shine it on becomes the main event in your awareness. Second, it's a vacuum cleaner. Everything that's held in that spotlight gets sucked into your brain, triggering that whole fire together, wire together process. This means you are constantly building your brain based on what you pay attention to, whether you even realize it or not.
So, the bottom line is this. If you want to change your brain, you have to get good at controlling your spotlight. By mastering where you put your attention, you get to decide what gets illuminated, and ultimately, what gets hardwired into your brain for good.
All right, so let's get practical. How do we use this amazing power to fight back against that negativity bias? There's a simple, incredibly powerful technique called taking in the good. And its whole purpose is to turn those fleeting, positive mental states into lasting, positive neural traits.
Remember that Teflon brain for good stuff? Well, because of our negativity bias, just noticing something good for a second isn't enough to make it stick. A passing good feeling won't build any new neural pathways. It'll just flow right through your brain like water through a sieve. We have to actively engage with it to really weave it into the fabric of our brain.
So here's how you do it.
First, you actively look for good things happening around you or inside you, and you really let yourself feel the positive experience. Step 2, and this is the most important part, you have to savor it. Stay with that good feeling for 10, 20, maybe even 30 seconds. Feel it in your body, let it get richer. And finally, step 3, you just imagine and sense that good feeling soaking into you, like warm water into a sponge, becoming a part of you.
And the cool thing is, you can do this with literally anything. The taste of your morning coffee, that feeling of satisfaction when you finish a task, a moment of gratitude for a friend, or even just recognizing a good quality in yourself, like, hey, I was pretty kind today. You're basically building up this inner bank of positive resources.
So what does this all add up to? What's the bigger picture here? Ultimately, it's about making a fundamental choice. It's about consciously shifting your brain out of its default, often stressed out, reactive mode and into a more balanced, thoughtful, responsive mode.
That reactive mode, that's what happens when our old negativity bias is running the show. We feel anxious, we're stressed, easily threatened. It's described as a kind of inner homelessness. The responsive mode, though, that's our brain's natural home base. It's a state of calm, of contentment, of connection. And every time we take in the good, we are paving the road back home.
There's a beautiful old story that just perfectly captures this internal choice. It says that inside each of us, there's this constant battle between two wolves. One is the wolf of fear, anger, and separation. The other is the wolf of love, calm, and connection. And they are both always there, a part of our nature.
And the one that wins is simply the one you feed. Every time you let your mind dwell on an old anger or a new fear, you're feeding the wolf of hate. But every time you consciously take in a moment of good, savoring gratitude or kindness or connection, you are feeding the wolf of love. The choice, every single moment, is yours. So the only question left is, which wolf will you feed?